Hello everyone and welcome back to the Aircraft Showcase in Joint Assault. Last time we took a look at the uh, the F-117A Nighthawk, the F-22 Raptor, the FB-22 Strike Raptor, the F-35 Lightning, the Tornado IDS, and we ended with the AEF-2000, the Typhoon. Today, we're going to wrap up with the European aircraft and start going towards the Soviet ones. Hello, Sly. Welcome to Strem. I was just playing my favorite Joint Assault song, Safe Recovery. Alright. At Embers of Valiant Heart running on loop since yesterday. Which one's that one? Safe Recovery and then the Spiritus songs, instrumental. Okay. That'd be cool. Orchestral remix of In the Zone. Yeah, that sounds like it'd be fun. Anyway, our first one looks like we're going to mission 9. Hi, Astrid. Sounds like the music plays when you shoot guidance at Olivieri's shiny dome. Yes, the shiniest of domes. It's so shiny that it gives off a valid heat signature and radar return. But our first aircraft is the Dassault Mirage 2000D. Fly-by-wire control of its delta wing gives this fighter superb acceleration and response. Some real-life stats. This was built by Dassault Aviation for the French. Its primary users are the French Air and Space Force, the United Arab Emirates Air Force, the Taiwanese, and the Indian Air Force. All variants... Oh, wait. I was wrong. Oh. The Delta variant here is only used by the French and Air Space Force. Its first flight was February 3rd, 1986. It is still in service. The Delta version, not the November version. The November version was the nuclear one. 86 Mirage 2000Ds were built. So yeah. Just getting that done. Checking chat. All right, so our stats, base-wise, we have a base 50 in speed, base 35 in air-to-air, base 45 in air-to-ground, base 50 in mobility, 70 in stability, and 45 in our defense. However, because this is joint assault, we have this wonderful thing called tuning, which, yeah, the ability to tune all aircraft came from Joint Assault. So if you like it in 7, thank Joint Assault. But our parts, never heard of it. Please tell us. We have the Uranus engine, which increases our stability and our anti-missile defense. It hampers their detection rate. We can also have the ramjet if we just wanted to be Rocket Man. We can also put on the turbo engine for more speed, but mobility and stability costs. For the wing, I currently have the extra aileron, which increases its mobility at the cost of defense. You can also have more hard points for more stability, defense, at a cost of mobility and speed. Or we can have the advanced trim tab, which ups your stability. But we're going with the aileron, because I want to be able to maneuver. For armor, we can have the CFRP conversion to increase our stealth. Anti-ground, so if we, graze the ground, we don't die immediately. And the special alloy armor, which allows us to endure a kill shot. But I'm not sure if that's... you get... Like, if something's going to kill you, no matter what your current health is at, you get... Instead of killing it, you get to 99%. Or if it has to be from full health to full death, you go to 99% at one. I don't know how it all works. But we're going to go with the CFRP conversion. And for avionics, we have the almighty Sniper OS, the lock-on gun. We can also have the fire extinguisher. But that's called Ace's Amulet. It's the fire extinguisher. We can also have the Raven on an attacker to increase our air-to-air. And we also have the AAM jammer, which theoretically I should put this one on just to have full stealth. But the Sniper OS is just too powerful. Don't pop flares. Let the ad play. I can just wait it out. Just switching back to Marion. All right. But yeah, the Mirage 2000D is the fighter attack, or it's the bomber version of the Mirage. Which I don't know why they have this one in Joint Assault. Probably because it's the one that was in X. But I'm kind of surprised they didn't put the Mirage 2000-5. But what the hell do I know? All right. Are the ads playing? There they are. Okay, so I have a minute 30 to kill before ads go away. What to do? Um, Overall, for it being an attacker, it actually is fairly fast and fairly mobile. So, in a pinch, you could use this as a fighter if you needed to. Not that its armament makes it easy, but you could. Also, the amount of stealth parts that the Mirage 2000D can equip kind of implies that if stealth was actually that big of a thing in this game, this would be a good no damage run attacker. Because the likelihood of you getting hit by SAMs goes way down. I'm just waiting for the ads to go away so I can talk about the liveries. And the ads are gone. Yay! Alright, so our liveries, we have the green-gray camouflage for color 1. Color 2 is the basic gray. I like this one, not going to lie. Then we've got the desert light brown tan camo. The Zahadra Ace Paint from Ace Combat 5. This is also the one you get in Reprisal back in Ace 5. Livery 4, we've got orange body with dark blue lines on the wings and nose area. Yeah, it's very navy blue, but yeah. And then we've got Rigao from Ace Combat 4. I think we're actually going to go with this one. I like this one. Pull this back up. As for our weapons, we have 2 cannon in the chin. Forgot what they were. Let me look it up. Okay, so the real life version does not have guns. Oh wait, no. Okay, it's in a different spot. 2 30mm. Oh, they can have gun pods. Well, in this one, apparently they're using the Mirage 2000s variant. Which would be 2 30mm DEFA 554 revolver cannons on the underside right around here. Because again, Ace Combat makes acceptable breaks from reality. Then for our missiles, we can have 108 R.550 magic missiles. We've got the AIM 9X Sidewinders. We got 72 of those. 144 Python 3s, or 36 AIM 132 ASRAMs. We're going to go with the magics. And as for special weapons, we've got the Mark 84. Technically, this wouldn't be the Mark 84, but the models are all shared. So the model here is the Mark 84, but we have 22 of them. We have 14 GBU 16 paveways. Again, it wouldn't actually carry this, but it's Martinez security, so whatever. We've got 24 AGMs, 65 Mavericks for XAGM. And finally, 20 I don't know what this what the model is for the SASM here. Because this is not the ASRAM. But we're going to go ahead and go with the bombs.
Antera Squadron, launch. We have visual on the power stations. Destroying them should neutralize the jamming signals in the mountains. Destroy all power stations.
Power station destroyed. Reduction in power supply confirmed. Jamming signals have weakened in the mountain range.
We've reached the industrial region. We'll see some similar facilities from before, but not all of them will be power stations. Identify the power stations and destroy them.
No change in power supply. Move on to another target.
Warning. Inbound missile.
You missed. Now I get to shoot you back.
Hostile destroyed. Power station destroyed. Reduction in power supply confirmed.
Good. Continue to differentiate the power stations from the others.
Jamming signals
And my
have
biggest
weakened in the mountain range.
complaint that I've had with the Mirage is usually they don't have long legs. As in, they run out of ammo a lot faster than other aircraft because of their smaller size. It's not so noticeable in this game.
Inbound missile.
3, 2, impact. No change in power supply. That wasn't one of our targets.
Screw you, RPGs. But in A6, it was very apparent, and in A7, that the Mirage just doesn't have the endurance. So great how little time they give you to react to that stuff.
No change in power supply. That wasn't one of our targets. Power station destroyed. Reduction in power supply. Estimated impact range is an altitude 4,500 to 6,500. Descend to evade. No change in power supply. Move on to another target. Detonation in 5, 4, 3, 2. Impact. Jamming signals have weakened in the mountain range. Estimated impact range is at altitude 0 to 2,300. Ascend to evade. Detonation in 5, 4, 3, 2. Impact.
Alright, I'm gonna go get that aerial target. I think that's the C5.
Estimated
Yep, Gizmo.
Locked on target. Estimated impact range is an altitude 4,500 to 6,500. Descend to evade. Detonation in 5, 4, 3, 2. Impact. Locked on target.
I like how it just completely vaporizes.
Detonation in 5, 4, 3, 2. Impact.
Ow.
Estimated impact range is an altitude 4,500 to 6,500.
And I'm above that altitude. Descend to evade, but I'm above it. You want me to descend into it? Okay. And I thought you were good at your job, Arena. Now, is Arena on the AWACS itself, or is he ground-based? Because I think Arena, or whoever your handler is on the AWACS along with Burford.
Enemy has opened fire. Power station destroyed. Reduction of power supply. Activate the sub-power station. Protect the sub-power station at any cost. Jamming signals have weakened in the mountain range. Colonel, hostile reinforcements located.
Yeah, I think they're on the AWACS in Midway. But it's kind of unusual that we'd have two people on the same plane. I mean, it's not unusual for real life. It makes sense.
Descend to evade. Detonation in 5, 4, 3, 2. Impact.
But it's a first for the series.
No change in power supply. Move on to another target. Estimated impact range is at altitude 3,200 to 6,500. Descend to evade. Detonation in 5, 4, 3, 2. Impact. Estimated impact range is at altitude
Oh, damn it.
3,200 to 6,500. Descend to evade. Detonation in 5, 4, 3, 2. Impact. Estimated impact range is at
You gotta be kidding me!
6,500. Descend to evade. Detonation in 5, 4, 3, 2.
We're just gonna fly in the death zone because it, for some reason, won't hurt us. But you won't be able to kill us because we're in the death zone.
Estimated impact range is at altitude 3,200 to 6,500. Descend to evade. Detonation in 5, 4, 3, 2. Impact. Estimated impact range is at altitude 3,200 to 6,500. Descend to evade. Detonation in 5, 4, 3, 2. Impact.
Oh, gotta love the screen shake. Yay, no more guns shooting at me.
Good. Operation complete. Thanks to your efforts, the operation in the mountains was also a success. Good work.
All right, for our next aircraft.
The mission was a success. Jamming signals in the Anatolia area have...
This one might be a little tricky, but whatever. We're doing Raging Sea. Excuse me.
IUPF intel.
And the aircraft in question is the Rafale M. This very first Omni-Roll Navy aircraft, characterized by stealth and... the very first Omni-Roll Navy aircraft, characterized by stealth and twin-engine delta wing. I take issue to a couple things. First, here, the Rafale is not stealthy at all. It might be low visibility, but it's not stealthy. It's not coated in RAM or radar absorbent material. It uses external hard points, so it's not made of a stealthy shape. So it is not stealthy. Although Omni-Roll, I'll go ahead and give it to him, because the Rafale can basically do any mission that the French throw at it. So sure, why not? The Rafale, the Rafale M was made by Dassault Aviation for the French Navy. I think they're the only ones that actually use the Rafale M, because the Rafale M is not short takeoff and landing. It is K-bar, meaning the only other country other than the French Navy that could use the Rafale M is the United States Navy. But we have our Hornets, so I guess theoretically the Chinese now have a K-bar aircraft, so they could theoretically use it, but I don't think the French are selling to them, because apparently the French aren't in deals with them. But it was introduced into the Navy on May 18th, 2001. And across all variants, 300 Rafales have been made as of October 2025. It is still in service. Our base stats are a 60 in speed, 45 in both air-to-air and air-to-ground, a 50 in mobility, 65 in stability, and a 50 in defense. As for our parts, sorry, I was waiting for it to load when it didn't need to. The engine, I've got the C-Cycle, which gives us a lot of speed. We could also have the turbo ram, the ramjet, the Minotaur. For the wing, I've got the advanced blended wing body to raise up our mobility, stability, and defense. Also have extra hardpoint, extra canard, extra aileron, air gripper, but the advanced blend wing body suits all of our needs. For armor, we've got the Beetle armor. You can also have the ram coat to actually give it stealth properties. Anti-ground armor and TL armor, the titanium aluminide. But we're going with Beetle because I wanted the mobility, speed, and stability. And then for avionics, we don't actually have a lot of choices. We can have the emergency APS, the advanced anti-stealth radar, the earth shaker, or the fire extinguisher. And I chose the fire extinguisher. As for emblems, I'm going to put it back to the Ustio run for no reason. And for our liveries, okay. We've got first livery is just the light gray livery, standard. Then we've got the gray camo from previous games, like all of them. We got the Rafale B style green camo. The black body with blue leading edges and tail fin stripes, inspired by the Rafale A prototype. And we've got a black body with the Gale kanji in the midsection because Rafale is French for Gale, I think. And then we've got the Espada livery, which is my favorite. That's what we're going to go with. And then for our weapons, we are armed with one 30mm Giat 30 autocannon in the, I guess, shoulder, the wing root, so to speak. And as for missiles, we've got 108 Magics, 72 AIM-9X high cams, 144 Python 3s, 36 ASRAMs. Given who we're going to be fighting, I'm actually going to take the high cams. Then for our special weapons, we got the GBU 16 Paveway. We got 14 of them. 11 Scalp EG SODs. 13 I think these are ASM2s, or the Type 80s. But it should be the AM39 Exocet. But we had 13 anti-ship missiles and 32 AIM-120 AMRAAMs, even though they should be the Mikas. But we're going to take the anti-ship. All right, let's go.
Launch.
Now, I think my favorite non-American aircraft might actually be the Rafale M. Largely because it's Navy in Kato Bar, which I love about. But also, it's an extremely versatile aircraft, and I love me some versatility. In fact, in A6, it was the only plane outside of the super planes that could keep up with the Strike Eagle. In fact, it could do some things better than the Strike Eagle could, like anti-ship.
Roger that. They said the enemy is you know who.
That does not matter. We just have to take them down.
Enough talk. Now we show the power of the Varkolux Squadron.
Hi, Floof. Welcome to Strem.
The IUPF! All aircraft stick to the plan. Understood? You're too slow.
Sorry, my ear started ringing. It's still ringing. Hold on. My left ear is ringing. Give me a second. So I was like, that's because you got 4 mentally ill pilots on the way. Answer it. No, the pressure is changing, so I had to pop my ear a little bit. All right. Unpause. Now hail hydrate. There you go. There. I did the hail hydrate non-cheating wise. Happy, Floof? All right. Scratch. There. You're gonna have to try harder than that.
Bandit is down. Target hit. Hostile reinforcements closing in. 4 of them. Hold on. I have ISF response. What the?
Rigel Squadron.
Bandits confirmed. Fight in full force.
Hey, Saimani. What the
So
hell is
Orma
going on
went
here?
from a tornado
The hostile is Slimani and Rigel Squadron.
to an A10.
Not only did they betray us,
Why?
now they're here to chill.
Thank you for the 85 stream streak.
Continue to London.
Floof.
Remember, these are top-class ace pilots.
85.
Get behind all 4 of them and stick their tail.
Come on.
Inbound missile.
Watch your 6. They're going to launch a concentrated attack.
I think Floof has the record.
Your tail, decelerate and try to replace position.
Honing your skills. But you still ain't got what it takes to shoot me down. Wow.
Sure about that, Orma?
On to me. Mark alert 2, 3, now. Cut to a 6. Sure you can afford to pay so much attention to me? Can't escape me. This is the great IUPF aim. I'm disappointed, Antares.
You're already hit. Shut up.
Need a hand, hombre? Target confirmed.
Come on. Come on. Downside of having high cams is your range is really short.
Can't escape.
It's almost on you.
Time's up. We've held up the IUPF long enough. Markalax Squadron, RTP.
Why don't we just take them down here?
Follow the operation.
Yeah, why don't you take me on, Slimani?
See ya, Antares. Let's do this again soon.
We've lost reading of the bandit core. They have left the combat zone. We have a new signal. It's from the water, an enemy submarine.
And it not being an American sub, it has to fire its missiles by surfacing.
Submarine along the coast. We have numerous allied ships in these waters. We need you to sink that sub.
IUPF aerial squadron. Intel was right. Fire Hightasm.
Fires the Hightasm!
Missile launch from the hostile sub. Vector directly upward. Target unknown.
Antares, gain altitude now. Escape above 3,200. It's a thermobaric missile. Antares, that missile causes a massive vaporizing explosion in midair at low altitudes.
Destroyed.
Fly below a certain altitude and they'll be torn to pieces. Watch for intervals between their attacks.
Release the Kraken!
Hostile sub has surfaced.
We'll be counting on you, Antares Squadron.
We'll be counting on you, Antares. Get used to hearing that. Hello, sir. My cousin. Yeah, we're, I'm going through every single aircraft in each Ace Combat game I can stream. Have you noticed subtitles? Yeah, but I don't pay attention to them, to be honest.
Escape above 3,200.
Detonation in 5, 4, 3, 2. Impact. Enemy submarine has submerged.
Be counting Antares.
Hurry.
Huh.
Hostile sub has
We'll be
surfaced.
counting you.
We'll be counting on you, Antares Squadron.
Yep. That was an error right there.
Prepare to launch missile. Confirmed hostile submarine.
Excellent work, Antares.
Prepare to launch missile. Boom, boom.
Slimani,
It's
running
dead.
is going to be a problem.
Because I used anti-ship missiles against
Be
it.
prepared, Antares. It won't be easy.
Which would make sense. Submarines are pressurized. A hull breach is bound to make him go boom boom.
Hostile forces in the air, but the issue.
Searing. I guess it's a time thing. Okay. But anyway, that our French aircraft are done. So now we get to move on to the Swedish aircraft. And our first one. Let me doing this one. Yes, the Saab
We are
planes.
attacking Tokyo again, approaching from.
Our first aircraft is the Saab AJS 37 Viggen. A multi-role aircraft developed specifically for short takeoffs and landings, largely because Sweden doesn't really have that many areas geographically that would facilitate full landing fields. So they're like, well, we'll just make sure our aircraft can take off on short fields. But the AJS 37 which could either mean the Tuft Duck or the Thunderbolt. It's a manufacturer, or it's manufactured by Saab. Primary user is the Swedish Air Force. 329 Viggens were built across all variants. It was manufactured from 1970 to 1990. It was introduced, the AJ version, on June 21st, 1971. Its first flight was February 8th, 1967, and it was retired on June 26, 2007. AJS, I believe, is their designations for fighter bomber reconnaissance or fighter strike reconnaissance. But its stats, according to the game, we have a 45 in base speed, 40 in base air-to-air and air-to-ground, 45 in base mobility, 60 in base stability, and 45 in base defense. But we do have parts that we're going to go ahead and look at. So the engine I put on is the Turbo Ram for speed, mainly. Because look at that, and that's how much speed we gain. You can also have the Minotaur, or Minotaur, whatever you have, and the Ramjet, but I figured Turbo Ram. For the wings, we've got the advanced blended wing body, because this is just generally a good part. If you can put it on, usually want to put it on. We can also put on the air gripper, and the extra aileron, and the extra canard. For armor, I've got the titanium aluminide, which gives us a massive increase to defense. We could also have the beetle armor, the ram coat, or the anti-ground armor. But I figured, more defense is better. Especially with how I tend to use this. I tend to use this as a longer range aircraft. For avionics, I've got the advanced anti-stealth radar. We could also put on the Earthshaker, the fire extinguisher, and the emergency APS. And then for our emblem, I think I'll go put on the arrow blades, or arrowheads, whatever. Didn't realize the game had this many awesome. Oh yeah, Joint Assault is fantastic if you want to custom. Ace X had a little bit of customization. It was the first one, but Joint Assault took the customization and hit the ground running. The only game that does customization better is Legacy. Because in Legacy, you can't pick your emblem, but you can color or you can customize the color of your aircraft as well as parts, I believe. But no, I'm glad that Joint Assault's parts customization has been carried forward to every game since. Speaking of liveries, our liveries here. We've got the Green Forest camo. We've got the gray body adopted by the JA-37. The striped two-tone gray body. The blue fuselage with yellow wing modeled off of the Swedish flag. We've got the lightning themed body because, you know, Viggen means thunderbolt. And then dark gray with gold trim. We're going with the Thunderbolt because I think that looks cool. We are armed with one 30mm Okalon KCA cannon. Then we are also armed with 84 AIM-9 Echo Sidewinders, 56 AIM-9Xs, 112 Python 3s, and 28 AIM-132 ASRAMs. I'm just going to go with the AIM-9 Echoes. And as for special weapons, we've got 17 Mark 83s. The Mirages should also be Mark 83s because these are the standard unguided bombs, not the large ones. We've got 11 AIM-7 Sparrows, 10 AGM-88 Harms, and 12 R-73 Archers. We're going to go with the Sparrows. It should technically be the RB-71 Skyflash, but Joint Assault uses shared weapon models for every weapon except for the standard missile.
Self-Defense Force, can you hear me? This is Burford from the M42 Squadron of Martinez Security.
This is Clover 1, Major Suzuki of the Central Air Defense Force. Our squad is engaged.
Now I'm going to admit I'm not that big of a fan of the Viggen,
Antara Squadron, you all
just
heard
because the canards are a little bit big for my taste.
First, the 7th Fleet, and now the Self-Defense Force? Looks like everyone needs our help now.
They don't need our help. We just don't get counted in their casualty reports.
Locked on target.
ASGF damage reports will be displayed on your MDG. Do not let that gauge fall to zero.
Fox 1. Although it is a very good semi-active sniping platform, so there's that.
Locked on target. Martinez Security, good to have you with us.
Yeah, this is not a very good dogfighter. It's capable of doing it, but this is a much better strike aircraft. But the reason why we're doing this mission instead of its ground counterpart, yeah, I don't like that mission.
We still have some work to do together.
Please.
Bandits approaching.
Think
More enemy reinforcements.
the SAMs are actually one of the more accurate missiles in the series, so long as you keep
Closing in from the
the
south.
target within that circle. In fact, some variants of it have a higher accurate or higher homing than the QAAM.
What's the status of the ground forces on the Boso Peninsula? Can't shake him. Bandit is down. I've got him in rear. I've been hit. Hostile reinforcements have appeared in the southern end of Nijima.
Fox 1. Fox 1.
Bandit is down.
Fox 1. Let's get that named aircraft. Osaka. Fox 1. Good, Osaka. Yeah.
All hostiles have been eliminated. Excellent work.
Allow me to offer my gratitude as well. To all pilots from Martinez, we are most grateful for your support.
All right, next up we have our last European aircraft.
We've succeeded in eliminating enemy forces from the Niijima territory. But hostiles have made it through from the Boso region and several northern routes. Tokyo's going to be a battlefield again. We need to keep casualties to a minimum. Head for Tokyo immediately.
All right. That. We're gonna go with this one. Yeah.
Scramble, men. The Valahi have invaded Tokyo airspace again. They've also unveiled a new beast of an aircraft.
So our fourth aircraft of the evening and our last European aircraft is the JAS-39 Gripen C. Or JAS-39C. Boasting low cost and high availability, this fighter performs the roles of fighter, attacker, and recon equally well. And this is probably the best of the Saab aircraft. And I would rank it alongside the F-16 and the MiG-20, well, the upgraded version of the MiG-29 classic. Yep, as comparable light aircraft. Now, I don't believe that, or I find it hard to accept arguments that the Gripen can outperform the other aircraft like the Rafale M, the F-15, or the F-35. But I think that's not to say that I don't think it's not a capable aircraft. It is. But I think it's more on par with the F-16 and the Fulcrums and the Mirages rather than the bigger two-engine aircraft. But anyway, the Gripen was developed by Saab Aviation for the Swedish Air Force. Other users include the Brazilian Air Force, the South African Air Force, and the Hungarian Air Force. They are currently trying to court the Canadian Air Force. So, if you're seeing this in the future and the Canadians did adopt the Gripen, then not bad. Across all variants, 300 Gripens have been built. It was manufactured from 1987 to the present. It was introduced to the Swedes on June 9th, 1996, and its first flight was December 9th, 1988. Then its base stats in the game. You got a base stat of 55 in speed, 45 in air-to-air and air-to-ground, 55 in mobility, 65 in stability, and 50 in defense. As for parts, we've got the C-Cycle engine, which is one of the better engines for speed. You can also put the Minotaur engine on, the Ramjet, and the Turbo Ram. But the C-Cycle gives you a lot of speed without sacrificing your other performance. For the wing, I've got the advanced blended wing body. You could also have the extra hardpoint, extra canard, aileron, and the air gripper. Our armor, we've got the Beetle armor. You can also take the Ram coat to make it stealthy, which would theoretically make it more close to the F-35. We got anti-ground armor and the titanium aluminide armor. I think I might actually take that one. Yeah, we'll take the titanium aluminide. And for avionics, we've got the fire extinguisher, Earthshaker, and advanced anti-stealth radar. We're just going to take the fire extinguisher. As for emblems, I'm going to put it back to the Ustio emblems for no reason whatsoever. All right, for her liveries, We've got plain gray. Got the Vegan Splinter. Faded green and yellow. Sky blue with yellow stripes, reminiscent of the Swedish flag. Four-tone yellows and orange. Kind of looks like... It almost looks like a Griffin with feathers. Well, a Griffin. I think that's what Griffin stands for. And then color 6 is Indigo Squadron. That's what we're going to take. We are armed with a single 27mm Mauser BK-27 revolver cannon. We're also armed with 120 AIM-9 Echoes, 80 AIM-9 X's, 160 Python 3s, and 40 Azrams. We're going to take the Sidewinders here. We're also equipped with 24 LAU 68 70mm rocket pods. We've got 24 volleys of those. We've got 12 charges of the ECMP pods. They got 20 dark fires. They should be MBDA meteors, but again, shared models and everything. This is the dark fire from the Wyvern. We've also got the ability to have 17 scalp EGs, although that should be the Taurus KEPD 350. But we're going to take the dark fires here.
Antera Squadron, launch.
Yeah, the Griffin, the Canards, I feel are still a little bit too big, but the Griffin solves a lot of my issues that I have with the Vigan. It's a lot more maneuverable. It can carry better weaponry. And it's more versatile in terms of air-to-air and air-to-ground.
Get the STM to back off. They're stealing my kills. I'm in critical condition.
This is Geo's Dia. Thank you for your support. Can you see the big one from up there?
This is Cantus of Martinez. Affirmative. We have visual. Looks like it's different from what we faced before. Be careful.
Hostile reinforcements believed to be B and C.
That's quiet, Squadron. It's highly good. None can stand against the Malakia. Bring the full force of the Orboy against them.
Fox 3.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, my kind of crazy.
All AA guns at B destroyed.
Deploy the next wave. Very impressive. You have certainly got my attention. You must be the leader of the squadron. Shut down my little boy. I see. Sergeant. Get him down. I am Dimitrisk of the Valakia.
Tech, what's going on here? How did he splice into our encrypted line?
My organization requires pilots with skills like yours.
I don't think we've
Standing in the middle of battle.
shot down the Spiritus at that point. So I'm not sure what his little toy he's talking about.
Good. Now focus your attack on the large enemy aircraft.
Deploying anti-air guns.
Soundtrack sounds retro. It does kind of. And in fact, Bandai Namco and Bandai Namco Aces recently released a complete digital soundtrack for, or official soundtrack for Joint Assault on Spotify, YouTube Music. I think that was the two streaming sites. I don't know if they've got a physical copy release. Yeah, if you like the music in this game, go ahead and check it out. Totally not sponsored, by the way.
Capabilities. Avoid direct contact with it at all costs.
And no physical release. Damn it! I really prefer physical media over digital.
You got it. Someone's got his temper.
Could you purchase? Yeah, I could do that. I might do that actually.
The only thing I value is money, earned in exchange for enemy lives. Give us money and, more importantly, the taste of battle. Ben, you with me on this?
Yeah. Sounds like
Might do that also with the Ace X
exactly what I'm looking for.
Sky's Deception soundtrack.
Righteous Squadron, what is going on?
I believe we have ourselves
Although I'm pretty sure I've got the hard copies of
contact you again. And I look
5-0, Assault Horizon, and 6. I don't know about 4.
What the hell are you doing?
I'll have to
Return
look.
base now. Slay mine. Damn it.
I might have
I'll
4s.
have HQ deal with the Rigel Squadron. Just focus on
If they had a physical release. I don't remember.
Changed course, heading toward Tokyo Bay.
Great. Continue pursuit and drive them out over the sea. Don't let them get away again. There are 2 outputs on the back end of the target's main wings. Destroy them.
Deploy shoot those dogs down.
Antares, incoming missiles.
Hostile destroyed.
Those enemy missiles have high-end tracking abilities. Fortunately, they're slow. Watch their...
Yeah, and I've got multi-missiles, so done. Now, what I feel sorry for is the Orgoy's crew. Because they'd have to be strapped in. Because of all the maneuvers that that thing does.
Confirmed. Target
The
destroyed.
advanced tracking abilities. Watch their...
Great shot, Antares.
You know how I defeat advanced tracking abilities? I blow it up first.
The enemy weapon. My.
Alright, so that finishes up the European aircraft. Now we're on to Soviet manufacturers. And for that, we're going to mission 4. No, mission 2, color 4. Mission 2, bird hunt.
This is an emergency sortie. I'll keep the briefing short. The unknown armed force is already in Tokyo airspace. SDF have engaged them, but the situation looks bad. We are to participate in the defense of Tokyo under the command of the 7th Fleet. You might find the next piece of intel a little hard to believe. Hostiles have deployed a large aircraft with heavy firepower. It's the sole reason for the SDF's troubles. We must fly north from Tokyo Bay and draw the main force away from the city. Watch out for bandits. Rigel Squadron, Antares Squadron, be alert out there. That is all. Now get going.
Okay, let me just pull that up. Alright. Okay, so this one is the MiG 2193, a small single-engine jet fighter with high maneuverability and a low production cost. It was manufactured by Mikoyan Gavarevich for the Soviet Union. MiG-21s are still technically in service today, although it's the BIS model, not the 93 model. Across all variants, 11,496 were built. They're manufactured from 1959 to 1986. Its first flight was June 16th, 1955, and it was introduced to the Soviet Air Force in 1959. Its operators, current operators, include Angola, Mali, Mozambique, North Korea, Sudan, and Yemen. Former operators include Afghanistan, Algeria, Bangladesh, Belarus, Bulgaria, Burkina Faso, Cambodia, China, although they have their own version of it, Congo, Croatia, Cuba, Czechoslovakia, then later the Czech Republic, East Germany, Egypt, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Finland, Guinea-Bissau, Germany, Georgia, Hungary, Indonesia, Iran, Iraq, Israelis, a defunct terrorist organization that I'm not sure I'm allowed to say, in India, Kyrgyzstan, Laos, Madagascar, Mongolia, Namibia, Nigeria, Poland, Romania, Russia, Serbia, Montenegro, Slovakia, Somalia, the Soviet Union, Syria, Tanzania, Turkmenistan, Uganda, Ukraine, Vietnam, Yugoslavia, before, they broke up, Zaire, and Zambia. Technically, the United States also had captured a couple of them for aggressor squadron duty before being retired. Holy hell, that was a lot. But yeah, the MiG-21 has been in a lot of air forces. Its stats, we have a base 60 in speed, base 35 in air-to-air, base 30 in air-to-ground, base 45 in mobility, 55 in stability, and 40 in defense. If I recall right, the 93 was an upgraded version of the MiG-21 that was supposed to be more interceptor. I don't know. But anywho, as for our parts, I kind of wish we could have the Belkin, or not the Belkin emblem for the Zero liveries, but also the Yuktabanian. Let's see here. Tune. We've got the rocket motor, MOD, for speed and mobility. We can also put on the scramjet for even more speed, but our turning is now shit. You can also put the advanced turbo engine on. For wing parts, we have the extra air brake, the Thornback, and the advanced actuator. I'm actually going to put that on there so we can actually turn. For armor, you can have the extra hard point, ceramic armor, light armor, and into ground. Okay. So it doesn't really boost our, yeah, so we're just going to go with the light armor. We will not be able to take any hits. However, we can move. And as for avionics, got the advanced fire control system to increase our missiles range. I do like this one. Fire extinguisher, Terra hammer for extra anti-ground, and the front and rear electronic countermeasure systems. Because why not? Well, let's cut our defense even more. No, we're just going to have the advanced fire control. Okay. The Erusians use a lot of MiG-21s. Also, I'm trying not to use anything that looks like real life liveries in this game. Or roundels. Alright, so speaking of liveries, our liveries, we've got the overall... oh wait, this is Legacy. There you go, join us all. Got the two-tone green and gray camo based on the 2193 demonstrator. This is also the first primary livery in Ace 5. We got the three-tone brown camo. Green dorsal fuselage with gray ventral. Got Hookbind's livery, based off of the Czechoslovakian livery. We've got the... I have no idea what this is. And we've got Scarface. I think we'll actually do that. Which means I need to switch my emblem. I'm going to be cosplaying here. Sorry. I am not a big fan of the MiGs either. I do not like the look of the fish bed at all. I don't like the fish bed. Yeah, there are a few Russian aircraft that I do like, but I am not the biggest fan of Russian aircraft. We are armed with one 23mm GSH-23 cannon, along with 60 R-60 aphid standard missiles, 40 AIM-9Xs, 80 Python 3s, and 20 ASRAMs. We're going to go with the aphids. We also have what should be our 27 Alamos, but we've got 8 AIM-7 Sparrows, 12, again, what should be the RO-57K rocket pods, but we've got 12 volleys of the LAU-68, 7 charges of the jammer pods, and 8, which should be KH-15 anti-ship missiles, but instead this is the Type 80. But we're going to go with the pseudo Alamos, the Sparrows. Yeah, any Russian aircraft fan, I apologize, but I am not that big of a fan of most Russian aircraft,
Refueling complete. Off you go.
especially the
The
MiGs.
enemy's already above Tokyo. All units, confirm targets and fire at will.
If you want to call it American bias, go ahead. I do like American aircraft a lot more. But there are some Russian designs that I do find aesthetically appealing, like the flankers. I also do like the design, or the look of the Su-57. The Felon's a disappointment performance-wise, but, you know, whatever.
Rigel Squadron, until
But if you tune it right, the fish bed here is a nimble little guy.
The rear heat bed is vulnerable while it recharges. That's our chance to strike. The MPG at the top right of your HUD displays the time before the main cannon's next attack. Disable their cannon before the gauge hits 0.
listen up. We need to stop that thing from firing again. I don't care what it takes.
Speaking of flankers, 33 Hobby Master just came in today and nice. I really do like the Su-33, but then again, I am a sucker for naval aviation. So naval flanker, yeah, I love it, especially with Strigan. But welcome to Stram. I'm going to have to disagree, but that's because my favorite aircraft is the F-15. I will say that the flankers do look great. And I mean, I'm not going to say you're wrong because that's a complete subjective statement. I'm going to say that my aircraft aesthetic tastes are different. This one's the Eagle and the Tomcat. Capitalist talk. You know, that's my shunka. I mean, you're asking if, your point is that you think that the flanker is is better aesthetically than the Raptor and the Eagle. I can't say you're wrong because it's a subjective statement. I can say I don't share that opinion. Now, if you were saying it If they performed better, now that's an objective thing that I could counter. But looks, no, that's an opinion. Just teasing. Okay. Split between the F-16, the F-14, and the Rafale. Those are all good-looking planes there, sir. Of those three that you mentioned, my favorite is looking is the Tomcat. All right, let's fire an American Sparrow off of a Russian fish bed. Use the Rafale to the end game. I mean, the Rafale is a good choice for a single plane playthrough because it is a multi-role. The F-15 act, the SMT, yeah, the SMTD is great. I do wish its canards weren't as big, but I'm not a canard person. But I love the Strike Eagle, and a lot of that is due to Ace Combat 6. In fact, I'm currently playtesting an A7 run that I'm going to eventually stream. Eagles only.
All bandits down. Area secure.
It will be modded with some add-on Eagles. But it'll be the Charlie Eagle, the Kai Eagle, Strike Eagle, Silent Eagle, SMTD, Sea Eagle, as in Naval Eagle, and the
Rigel Squadron, onto the
EX.
squadron. Good work.
Currently playtesting it. I just to make sure it works. F-15 Mag. I love the F-15. The F-15 is my favorite real-life plane.
Tokyo Harbor took a major hit, but we
Which
eliminated enemy aircraft and
is
destroyed
weird
main
because
force.
I
You did
much
well
prefer
working in a
naval
difficult
aviation.
situation. My thanks, Rigel
Like,
Squadron.
my other real-life favorite aircraft are the
However, the launch aircraft
F-14,
seems to carry stealth capabilities.
the
We lost
FA-18,
visual off the Izu Islands. We don't know what
the
they want.
Su-33,
There's a possibility
and
they Tokyo again.
the Rafale.
Both squadrons are to remain on standby at condition yellow.
The F-15 did have a proposed naval variant, yes. It would have been designated the F-15N, the Sea Eagle. However, the Navy rejected it. Because in order for it to be carrier capable, it would have had to have had a heavily reinforced tailhook, and the landing gear would need to be heavily reinforced, and the wings would need to have actuators to fold them up. All of that costs weight, about 1,000 pounds worth. So putting all of that on meant that its performance was no longer equivalent to that of the Air Force version's Charlie Eagle. So the Navy's like, we're good. We've got the Hornet. We've got the Tomcat. So the naval version of the Eagle was never reached past the prototype stage. That said, in my Eagle Maxing stream that I'm eventually going to do, the Naval Eagle will be part of it because I want my damn Sea Eagle. Yeah, at least we had the Tomcat until we didn't. All right, we've got time for one more aircraft.
The areas of Shinagawa, Oichito, and Odaiba have taken the most damage. Though damage estimates are unknown, it will take a while before the port facilities will be functional again. And in a message sent to numerous media outlets, a terrorist organization calling themselves the Valahia are claiming responsibility for the attack on Tokyo.
That's correct. The Wallachia are thought to be comprised of extremists from former Eastern European
right.
nations and headed by a man.
Here's an update. We've just received intel that the Armed Force Valahia is beginning another attack on Tokyo. At the request of the 7th Fleet, Martinez Security is to join with the SDF in the defense of Japan. Tokyo is currently under attack from the north and south.
Yeah, that's great. Dance music. Yeah. I think that was from Ace 3. But our final aircraft for the night will be Mission 5. Again.
Scramble, man.
And now we're going to go... Night, you're leaving. I typically do 6 aircraft, and this is aircraft number 6. I have supper that I gotta go get. I need to eat. It's only 3:14. Well, where I am, it's 5:14. Because I'm in Central Time. Not Pacific. And I started at 3:30. Yeah, well, at least I can afford to live. Anyway. Our final aircraft for the stream is the MiG-29A Fulcrum. This is an air superiority fighter boasting powerful engines and refined aerodynamics. This is one of 2 MiGs that I actually like, design-wise. Because it abandoned the box, the flying box design, or the flying pencil design that MiGs used to use. Is there a way to transfer my save data PSP memory to... Yes, there is. I don't know how I did it, but this save data that we're playing on right now is from my old PSP. So yes, you can. I forgot how. Hold on, messaging my brother. All right. It's me over that data then. I don't know how. I am computer illiterate. But anyway, the MiG-29, NATO reporting name Fulcrum, was developed by Mikoyan Gaverovich for the Soviet Union. It is currently in service. Around 1,600 were built. It's manufactured from 1981 to 2019. It was introduced August in 1983. First flight, October 6th, 1977. The MiG-29 was developed alongside the larger Sukhoi Su-27 to counter more modern U.S. fighters, such as the General Dynamics F-16 and the McDonnell Douglas F-15. Whether or not they were good at it is a different thing entirely. Although I'd say that the MiG-29 would be more comparable to the F-16 than the F-15. Because it is the smaller of the two. Its operators include current operators: Algeria, Azerbaijan, Bangladesh, Belarus, Bulgaria, Cuba, Egypt, India, Iran, Libya, Mongolia, Myanmar, North Korea, Peru, Poland, Russia, Serbia, Sudan, Turkmenistan, the Ukraine, Uzbekistan, Yemen, and the United States has captured a few for aggressor purposes. Former operators include Chad, Czechoslovakia, then later the Czech Republic, Eritrea, East Germany, Germany, Hungary, Iraq, Israel, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Moldova, Romania, Serbia, Montenegro, Slovakia, South Yemen, the Soviet Union, Syria, and the former Yugoslavia. But interesting thing, the MiG-29 actually was originally supposed to be more of a box with wings, like the MiG-31 and the MiG-25, but the new blood decided that they wanted a blended wing body. And so they made a bet, and they won. Meaning they got to make this, which arguably is, I mean, it was a much better performance than what their thrust box was going to be. As for our game stats, the MiG-29 has a 70 in speed, 45 in air-to-air, 35 in air-to-ground, a 50 in mobility, a 55 in stability, and a 45 in defense. Base. Now let's go to the hangar to see what I did to it to make it better or worse. Keeps pinging me. Swear to God. Oh. It's just going live notifications. Okay. That's fine. First, we're going to switch it to my favorite roundel, the Amerian roundel. Alright, so I put on the rocket motor MOD for massive speed boost. We can also put on the scramjet to go even faster at the cost of turning. We also have the advanced turbo engine. But the rocket motor MOD, it was the best. For our wings, we can have the extra air brake, Thornback fin, or the advanced actuator. I'm actually going to put the advanced actuator on there, because I want this thing to maneuver. For armor, you can have the light armor, the ceramic armor, the anti-ground armor, and the extra hard point. Light armor, just because I want this thing to be maneuverable. Because that is Soviet fighter doctrine. Out dogfight in close range for their fighters. Their interceptors are be big, be fast, and have very long-range missiles. Avionics, we've got the advanced fire control for longer-range missiles. You can also have the fire extinguisher, the Fenrir ECMS, and the Terra Hammer. But I just like the versatility of the fire control because your standard missiles range just goes up. Although I'm surprised that it couldn't have the advanced blended wing body, but whatever. Then for our liveries, we have the standard gray. We also have the Paris 1989 Airshow camo. Got the woodland camo. Got the black coal charcoal splinter. Got the light blue upper body. I think this is more like to emulate the Russian flag. And then we just got the Mercus Ace color scheme from Ace 4. But I kind of like this one best. So we're going to do that one. Our armament, we have a 30mm GSH 30-1 autocannon. Then our missiles and special weapons. We've got 78 R60 aphids, 52 AIM-9X sidewinders for our high cams, 104 Python 3s for the lightweights, and 26 AIM-132 ASRAMs for the heavyweights. We're just going to stick with the aphids. For our weapons, we've got what should be 16 volleys of the S8 rocket launcher, but this is the LAU-68. What should be 16 of the FAB 250 kilogram bombs, but this is the Mark 83. 12 what should be R27 Alamos, but this is the AIM-7 Sparrow. And then finally 24 of what should be the R77 Adders, but this is the AIM-120 AMRAAMs. I just mentally hand wave the shared missile models as, oh yeah, it's Martinez Security. They have their suppliers.
Antera Squadron, launch.
Launch.
The hostiles have already reached Tokyo. The SDF are offering resistance, but they're losing ground. Roger on Antera Squadron, hurry.
Deployment completed at National Stadium in Jingu. Shinjuku 1. Prepare for hostile.
Yeah, back in the day, the MiG-29 was the quintessential Russian aircraft in the Western mind. More so than the flanker. This was the MiG. Like when you asked an American what a Russian aircraft was and showed a picture, they would point to this one first. It wasn't until I think the 2000s where the flankers actually started taking over as the quintessential Russian fighter.
I'm going to enjoy this.
But a piece of trivia, the Russians don't really like most of the NATO reporting names. Except for one. the fulcrum. Because to them, it was NATO acknowledgement of just how important this aircraft was to their Air Force. It's like, okay, we okay with this one.
Engine systems all green. Hostile enemy units prior to attack on Tokyo. All AA guns have been destroyed. Deploy the next wave.
Very impressive. You have certainly got my attention. You must be the leader of the squadron who shot down my little toy. I see. You are cautious too. I am Dimitrisk of the Valahia.
Tech, what's going on here? How did he splice into our encrypted line?
My organization requires pilots with skills like
Quit yapping. Let me shoot you down.
Middle of battle.
I can promise a better way. Changing your allegiance.
Deploying anti-air guns. Hostile destroyed.
What anti-air guns?
Target is smoking. Attacks are having an effect. All AA guns have been destroyed again.
PSP. No.
Deploying anti-air guns.
You don't need to mod your PSP. You need a certain cable that has a USB A on one side and a micro USB on the other side. Because it's just a straight data transfer. But I don't think I don't know the program that I think you just, if I remember right, you can just do it direct from the or directly from the PSP to the emulator. But I don't think I have that cable anymore. Yeah, no, yeah, the save files are easy. You just need the correct hardware. No, yeah, the easiest games to emulate is combat-wise are the PSP games, because the PSP emulator, the one I'm currently using is PPSSPP, and it's a very user-friendly emulator. I highly recommend getting it. And then you can just rip the ROM from UMD straight from the PSP, and just start playing. Oh, hello.
Target has changed course, heading toward Tokyo Bay.
Great.
Balalaika.
And drive them out over the sea. Don't let them get away again. There are two outputs in the back end of the target's main wing. Destroy them.
Enemy down.
And in fact, Ostrich has an HD texture pack that I am using that makes the game looks a lot better. Or look a lot better. And with that, we're going to go ahead and consider this session of the showcase concluded. But don't go. I will preview the next aircraft as soon as I get control. getting to the hangar.
Listen up.
Yeah. Welcome to the end of the stream star screen. But tomorrow we've got Dragon Age Awakening and Batman Arkham Knight. Wednesday, or not Wednesday, but Saturday we have The Witcher 3. Sunday we've got Baldur's Gate 3. Monday, Final Fantasy 9. Wednesday, Horizon Zero Dawn and Ace Combat 4 Ace difficulty. And then next week, Thursday, we're going to continue the showcase of the next 6 aircraft. The MiG-31, the MiG-1.44, the Su-37, or 27, sorry, the Su-37, where's Comet? We're going to have two streams of Ace Combat next week, man. Let's see here. So, yeah, flankers. 1, 2, 3, 4. The Su-47 Burkett. And it's much better looking prototype, the S-32. I believe those are the next 6. Have a good night, sir. Yeah. So yeah, that will round out the remaining Soviet aircraft. But anyway, thank you all for joining me. I hope you had fun. And I will see you guys. We're going to snipe people and email and multiplayer. Nice. I will see you guys later. Hopefully tomorrow with Dragon Age Awakening. Take care and have a good night.